Again, I'm here to talk about massive data breaches in 2019 that occurred due to unprotected databases. I will get more into that as I go. So, databases are caused due to misconfigurations, which can have a drastic consequence for big companies. The biggest data breach witnessed so far in 2019 is the exposure of 80 million records by an email marketing firm Verifications.io. And I'm going to tell you what a misconfiguration is. A misconfiguration in the database can result in the exposure of millions of people's sensitive information across the globe. Unprotected servers or open databases that are left publicly accessible without any authentication could put millions of users' data at risk, causing serious damage to big organizations. Several such incidents has been witnessed in 2019. So I'm here to talk about all the incidents that happen with unprotected databases. Before we start, I was gonna put that out there. I don't know why companies would leave their databases exposed, not protected, because most hackers they have malicious content with, um, with people's personal information. So I will go through all of the events that happened in 2019 so far, and mind you, it's quite a lot. All right, here we go. So the first one I'm talking about is unprotected MongoDB exposes 80 million records. On February 25th, 2019, security researchers Bob Dichenko and Vinny Troya discovered an unprotected MongoDB database that was left open without any password protection. The open database belongs to an email marketing from Verification.io and has exposed around 80 million records. The database contained three folders with different records. The first folder had over 790 million unique email addresses, and the second folder contained 4,150,600 and 600 records that had been both email addresses and users' phone numbers. The third folder contained over 6 million business lead records. So just think about people's email addresses, their phone numbers being exposed. They just out in the world. Just think about that. Next is about a Chinese HR, which they exposed over 490 million resumes. So security researcher Sunyan Han, I don't know how you say that, has reported almost 7 incidents since January 2019 that witnessed the data exposure of over 590 million Chinese job seekers' resumes. All the 7 incidents were caused due to misconfigured Elasticsearch servers. So basically saying that all people who any Chinese person looking for a job is basically the resumes has been compromised. It's crazy. Next, I'm gonna talk about this right here, if you can see. So the security researcher Bob Diachenko uncovered an unsecured MongoDB database that was hosted on Amazon AWS infrastructure. The leaky database contained almost $275 million records of Indian citizens with personally identifiable information such as names, email addresses, genders, dates of birth, phone numbers, educational details, professional skills, employment history, current employer, and salary. However, the data was deleted by a hacker group named Unistellar. Just think about all that stuff being stolen. Your email address, your date of birth, your phone number, just your history of your employment, even your salary, which I think is crazy how companies would have things unprotected so that those things could be stolen. And I'm talking about next. I'm talking about car buyers being exposed. An unprotected Elasticsearch database belonging to DealerLeads has exposed almost 198 million records containing information about potential car buyers. The exposed data includes names, email addresses, phone addresses, IP addresses, ports, pathways, store information, loan and finance inquiries, and details of cars that were being sold. and I'm going to talk about the Honda, how Honda exposed 234 million employee data. Security researcher Justin Payne discovered a misconfigured Elasticsearch instance belonging to Honda. The leaky database contained information for over 300,000 employees across the globe, which included employees' names, email addresses, their last login, the computer's endpoint security vendor network information, OS versions, host names, and patch status. The database had a table named Uncontrolled Machine, which contained 3,000 entries about Honda's internal computers that weren't using endpoint security software. So, the key point of this whole article, the companies are not they're not protecting anything that people's personal people's personal items are at stake. Their phone numbers, addresses, emails. Many companies leave things are protected, their databases. So, in order to avoid such data leaks, organizations must secure the database configuration, enforce proper authentication, and encrypt the data stored in the databases.